Good morning, students. Today we are going to do vertically projected body applications. See, now there is a condition. Here there is a tower of height h. From this tower of height h, there is one body which is dropped from the top of the tower. So let us consider the body is dropped, so u1 is 0, initial velocity. At the same time, from the bottom of the tower, another body u2, another body of initial velocity u2 is given u, is thrown in upward direction. Both are at the same time thrown in opposite directions. One is dropped, other one is thrown upward. Okay, in this condition, some applications we are going to discuss. Okay, so now what is that? See here, what is the separation between the two bodies after some time? See here, that is what I need to calculate. Before that, to calculate, here a body is dropped from certain height, initial velocity is 0. How much distance it will cover after a time t seconds? What is the distance it will cover for? Yes, after a time t seconds, the body will cover a distance. First one, h1 is equal to s equal to ut plus half at square, u0. So ut term 0. Half a t square. What is a? G. Freely falling body. A equal to plus g. So h is equal to half g t square. Okay, now let it be t1 square I am taking. After a time t1 seconds, I wanted to calculate what is the distance it is covered. Later I will tell you the condition, remaining condition. But see, another second body which is thrown in upward direction, which is going in upward direction. So after a time t2 seconds, this body will also travel in upward direction some distance, correct or not? Let it be h2. Same equation, s equal to ut plus half at square only. U is not 0 like in the previous case. Okay, so previous case freely falling, that's why 0. But it is thrown upward, so u is not 0. So u is there. So u2 means I am writing u2, you see, u t2 minus half g t2 square. Okay na? Clear or not? So now my question is, if it is covering h1 distance, it is covering h2 distance, then what is the separation between the two bodies after a time t seconds? That means this is how much time it is travelled. During the same time second body is also travelled. That means I am taking t1 and t2 are same. Okay, if t1 equal to t2, then in that situation, what is the separation after a time t seconds between the bodies? Total distance is h. This is covered up to h1. This is covered up to h2. What is this separation? Delta h I need. How can I calculate this? Full distance, I need to subtract h1 and h2, so that I will get this. Correct? So, the separation between the bodies, delta h is equal to h minus of h1 plus h2. Okay, so here t2 is t, here t1 is also t. Then what is this? Half gt square. This is ut minus half gt square. Okay, now subtract it. H minus half gt square plus ut minus half gt square. So h plus into minus ut. Any doubt? Clear or not, ma? So separation between the two bodies after a time t seconds is h minus ut. That's all. So when a body, two bodies, okay, draw this diagram, put the heading. A body is dropped from the top of a tower of height h. A body is dropped from the top of a tower of height h. At the same time, another body is dropped, another body is projected. At the same time, another body is projected. In upward direction, from the bottom of the tower, with an initial velocity u, in upward direction, after a time t seconds, the separation between the two bodies is this is the diagram and this is the condition. Next, in the second case, if both the bodies meet each other after a time t seconds, then what is the time after which both the bodies will meet? Okay, see here, this body is going upward, this body is coming downward. So after certain time, definitely both the bodies will meet. So the time after which they both meet. So that is what next condition. Time after which both bodies meet each other. That means what is the separation between the two bodies? Delta H is 0. So that means H minus ut is equal to 0. T equal to H by U. That is the time it takes to meet both the bodies. Okay, right, next one. Next, the height at which they meet. The height at which they meet. So I need to calculate that height. So like this is what H2 in the previous case. H2 is what? H2 only H. Okay. What is that? Ut minus half gt square. T at what time they are meeting? H by U. Substitute in this condition. U into H by U minus half g t. H by U whole square. H square by U square. So what will you get? To U gets cancel H minus
half g H square by U square.
This is from ground. Okay, the height at which they meet from the ground. From ground. Next, right. This is a here first body is dropped, second body is thrown in upward direction. So time after which they both have the same speeds. That is the condition. So for that, so after a time t seconds, this body acquires a speed v1 equal to gt, and this body will have speed u minus gt. So both of them have same speeds. So v1 equal to v2. But after a time t seconds, so I am equating v1 equal to v2. So gt minus equal to u minus gt. So bring here 2gt equal to u, t equal to u by 2g. That is the what? The time after which both the bodies will meet. Okay, next. The velocity of the body after which time t seconds. What is that velocity? See here. Yes, you know the time after which both the bodies have same speeds. So v1 equal to v2. Then from that v1 equal to freely falling body gt. This is u minus gt equating. After that you are getting t equal to u by 2g. Next, see here, after that same time, after this time, what is the velocity of the body while thrown in upward direction? So what is the velocity? Here the condition is what? Both the bodies have same speeds. They are going to meet at the same point. So at that time, the time of u by 2g, both will have the same speed, and that speed is equal to u by 2, and that is for freely falling body. At the same time, vertically projected body is u by 2. How you got? This is from this. v2 is equal to u minus gt for a vertically projected body. So u minus g into t is what? Time after which their speeds are equal. So u by 2g, g gets cancelled, you will get u by 2. So u minus u by 2 is u by 2. So the time after this, both the bodies have the speed u by 2. Okay, right. Next, the height from the ground when they have same speed. That means they are meeting so when their velocities are meeting, when their velocities are same, at that condition, what is the height from the ground they are asking? Okay, that height to calculate for the from the bottom from the vertically projected body, h is equal to ut minus half gt square. So their velocities are equal after this time only, u by 2g. So that time I am substituting in this equation. So what will I get? U into t is what? U by 2g. Okay, minus half g into t is u by 2g whole square. Then u square by 2g minus, after simplification you will get u square by 8g. So 1 by 2g into u square by 4g, 4g square. 1g gets cancelled, you will get u square by 8g. So this is u square by 2g minus u square by 8g. U square by 2g minus u square by 8g. So 8g is the LCM. Okay, so then here this is 4 times 4u square minus u square. So 3u square by 8g. H2 means from the ground they are at a height of 3u square by 8g. So next, I need to calculate from the top the distance covered by the freely falling body. This body meets at a height from the ground is 3u square by 8g from the ground. Okay, from the top, that is what I need to calculate. So h2 plus h1 together is equal to height of the tower. Okay, so height of the tower, h1 plus h2 is equal to h. Freely falling body is traveling h1 distance, vertically projected body is traveling h2 distance. Both are meeting so that the sum of their heights is equal to h. So h1 plus h2 is equal to h. Now h1 is equal to h minus h2. You know, you already calculated what is this h2. H minus h2. h2 is what? 3u square by 2g. What is h? Height of the tower. Height of the tower is equal to u square by 2g. How you got this u square by 2g? Yes, see here, initial velocity of the body u is equal to 0 while it is coming down. So it hits with a speed of root 2gh. So v is equal to root 2gh. Okay, na? So from this what? After simplifying, you will get h is equal to u square by 2g will come. Okay, so u square by 2g. It is just like, or you can say in another way. So a vertically projected body is thrown in upward direction where its final velocity becomes 0. So that is what you can take the height, maximum height. So what is that maximum height for a vertically projected body where its final velocity becomes 0? U square by 2g. So with the same initial velocity, body is coming down through travel through the same height. So we can take that height is u square by 2g. Okay, so u square by 2g minus 3u square by 8g. After simplification, you will get u square by 8g. So this is h1 by h2 is equal to 1:3. So h1 is equal to what? U square by 8g. h2 you got 3u square by 8g. So h1 by h2 is equal to u square by 8g by 3u square by 8g. You will get 1/3. That is the ratio when their speeds are same. Okay. So the time after which both the bodies have same speed means t equal to what? U by 2g. At that time, at that point, what is the velocities of both the bodies? What is the speed of both the bodies? U by 2. Okay. At that same point, what is the height from the ground for the vertically projected body? U square, 3u square by 8g. Okay. During the same time, what is the distance covered by the freely falling body? U square by 8g. Okay. Then what is the ratio of distances covered by the freely falling body and vertically projected body? 1:3. This is the condition. Okay. So see here in this condition, different conditions you are seeing. Once again I am repeating. See here, a freely falling body u1 is 0 and the vertically projected body u2 is equal to u in upward direction. If they meet at the midpoint, that also our vertically projected body final velocity becomes 0 at the meeting point. Then what should be the initial velocity thrown in upward direction is u equal to root gh, and this is the proof. So v square minus u square equal to 2as. So v is 0. So minus u square is u square equal to 2 into a is minus g. While going in upward direction, a equal to minus g. S is what? H by 2. 2 gets cancelled. Minus u square equal to minus gh. Minus minus gets cancelled. U equal to root gh. So that is the initial velocity with which a body to be thrown in upward direction, so that the final velocity of vertically thrown body is 0 and they meet at midpoint. So for this condition, this is the initial velocity. Okay. Now next. Another one. So height of tower. Height of tower. What is the formula? H is equal to, normally what will you say? Half gt square, a general formula for height. So for freely falling body, half gt square. Half g into t square can be written like t1 t2. Okay, t square can be written like t1 t2. Okay, now t1 into t2 is t square like. Okay, so half g t1 t2, that is the height of the tower. Next, what is the initial velocity you have thrown? Okay, so in that condition, in terms of t1 and t2, u equal to, what is the formula for time of flight? T is equal to 2u by z, yeah? Okay, t equal to 2u by z. T is what?
Time of flight.
Sum of the times, t1 plus t2. So t1 plus t2 is equal to 2u by g. From this, what is u?
G into T1.
What? G by 2, that is half g into t1 plus t2. That is the initial velocity with which the body is thrown, right? No doubt. So height of the tower, velocity, initial velocity of the body. Next. See, that is the initial velocity of the thrown body. U is equal to half g into t1 plus t2. Next, what is the height of the tower? You got h is equal to what? Half g t1 t2. Next, after this we can write another condition. So you know that what is the maximum height reached by the body? Yes. Yes. See that body is thrown vertically upward direction with velocity u. After a time t1 seconds it reaches the point P from the ground. On the other side it takes time t2 seconds to reach the same point P. Then the height of the point P, h is equal to half g t1 t2. Half g t1 t2. Right? Next, the initial velocity with which the body is thrown to reach the same point is u is equal to half g into t1 plus t2. Okay, so this is from time of flight, 2u by g. From that t is what? Total time, sum of the times. So t1 plus t2 is equal to 2u by g. From that u is equal to half g into t1 plus t2. Next, what is the maximum height of the tower? This is small h, this is capital H. This is capital H. This is small h, height of the point P. So next, maximum height. So capital H is equal to what? Capital H equal to, normally you know that u square by 2g. But one thing you see here, for a vertically projected body, connection should come here. What is that? See, you know that for a vertically projected body, h is equal to u square by 2g. Correct? See here, if I multiply and divide it by g, then what you can notice?
Square g by 2g.
G by 2 I can write, u square by g square I can write. Correct? Correct or not? So u by z is nothing but what? Yes. See, for this vertically projected body, a time t1 seconds reaches the point P from the ground, t2 seconds again reaches the point P. In that situation, the maximum height of the tower is equal to, h is equal to g by 8 into t1 plus t2 whole square. This is like for a vertically projected body, what is the maximum height is u square by 2g. So from this I am going to multiply and dividing by 4z. So that what? G by 2 4s are 8 into u square by g square into 4 I can write. 4 u square by g square together to write in a single bracket, 4 u square by g square. 4 u square by g square together in bracket, g 4 2, g by 8 I am writing outside. So 4 u square by g square inside. So g by 8 into 4 u square, that is nothing but 2 u by g whole square. Okay, so t, you know that t is what? Time of flight for a vertically projected body is 2u by z. So this is capital T. So g by 8 into t square, capital T square equal to capital H. So from this, you know that the total time of flight here for a vertically projected body while it is crossing the point P, it is t1 and t2 means, so total time of flight t is equal to t1 plus t2. So in place of this capital T, I am writing t1 plus t2. So then the equation height will become, so g by 8 into t1 plus t2 whole square. That is the what? Maximum height. Okay, next, velocity of the body while reaching the point P. So meeting velocity. Okay, so that Vp is equal to half g into t2. Here t2 minus t1. So that is the formula for velocity at that point, magnitude of velocity. Okay, that is what about that. Just note down. Next. If a rocket is projected in upward direction, okay, so while the rocket is going in upward direction, after a sometime if the fuel is exhausted, in that rocket, then what is the height reached by the rocket? I need to calculate. So what is the height reached by the rocket when after a time t seconds, if the fuel of the rocket is exhausted, that means over. Okay, so that means after a time t seconds, if its fuel is exhausted, then what is the total time taken by the rocket, right? So total height reached by the rocket, right? H is equal to the height reached by the rocket can be considered in two conditions. One, while it is going in upward direction with the fuel, with some acceleration a, it is moving upward. While it is moving with fuel, with an acceleration a, it is moving upward. Then in that situation, the height travelled, you can give like h1 up to fuel exhaust. Then after that, due to already acquired speed that is moving in upward direction, that is under gravity effect it will go. Okay, that is what h2 you will write. Okay, right? So h is equal to total height till here fuel exhaust h1, then after that h2. So total height reached by the rocket is h1 plus h2. What is h1? h1 is due to the fuel. So what is that? Half a square. Initially rocket is at rest. Once the fuel burned, it goes up with an acceleration a. So the distance covered h1 is equal to half a square. Okay, till that time t, fuel burns. After this time t, fuel is exhausted. Then what is the height reached by it? So from here it is just like a vertically projected upward body.
U square.
So yes, half gt square or u square by 2g. U square by 2g. What is u here? After this time t seconds, it acquires a velocity v. Okay, so it is started from rest, going upward with an acceleration a. So what is v? U plus at. u0. V is equal to at. What is the velocity it is acquired after time t seconds? When the fuel is burnt off, v is equal to at. Okay, so with that it will go up by v square by 2g. Okay, na? It is like vertically projected body on the ground, like that it is. Okay, so right, half a square plus v. What is v? a whole square, a square t square by 2g. Okay, na? What you can make common?
Half
a square you can make common. What will you get? 1 plus a by g. That is what the height reached by the rocket after a time t seconds if its fuel is burnt off. Okay, na? So this is the formula. Or you can write like, simplify also you can write g plus a by g also you can write a by g into t square. Understood? So two conditions. One, till the fuel burned, so h1. After fuel burned, v square by 2g vertically projected body. Okay, so for this h1 equal to half at square, s equal to ut plus half at square. For h1, from s is equal to ut plus half at square, s is given what? h1, u is given 0, half at square. So h1 you got what? Half at square. That is what I have written here. Okay, plus h2 v square by 2g. Till here it reached velocity v. So v, that is the initial velocity. Since no fuel is there to burn the engine, so due to gravity only, it is just like initial velocity at that condition v. So it is going in upward direction till its final velocity becomes 0. Okay, so v is equal to u plus at. So u is equal to this is what? V How much that value of v I need to calculate? To calculate that v is equal to u plus at, u is 0. So 0 plus at, so v is equal to at. That is the initial velocity here. It is thrown in upward direction. So v square by 2g means at whole square by 2g. So a square t square by 2g. So half a t square you can make common. So 1 plus a by g. That is the distance covered by the rocket in upward direction. Clear or not? Yes. Next, go to another one. Next case, lift. Here there is a lift, a person is standing inside a lift. Okay, now the lift is, suppose you see the lift is stationary. The lift is stationary. You have thrown an object in upward direction. What is the time of flight it takes to fall down in the lift? Time of flight. Time of flight is nothing but what? Time taken? Yes, 2u by z. Correct? Vertically, on ground, what is the time of flight for a vertically projected body? 2u by z. The same only when the lift at rest also. But your position is different, that's all. Instead of standing on the floor, you are standing inside the lift. That's all. So when you are lifting, when you are throwing in upward direction, in outside lift, how much time it takes? Even inside the lift also, when the lift is at rest, it takes the same time. Correct? Okay. Right. Next. Suppose the lift is moving upward with a uniform velocity. Lift is moving upward with uniform velocity. Then what is the acceleration of the lift? 0. Acceleration of the lift is 0. Lift is moving with uniform velocity. Okay, uniform velocity if it is moving. So acceleration 0. Uniform velocity, acceleration 0. So acceleration is 0, then effective acceleration a is 0. Then effective acceleration to calculate, you will take only g. Okay, na? So only g is the acceleration due to gravity will act on it. So then what is the time of flight? 2u by g only. Okay, 2u by g only. Okay, what is that? Where you are getting 2u by g? If you are standing on the earth and the floor and you are throwing in upward direction, then 2u by z, time of flight. If you are standing inside the lift and you have thrown in upward direction, so then to reach the ground, then also time of flight 2u by z when the lift is at rest. Okay, now if the lift is moving with uniform velocity, either in upward direction or in downward direction, in both the cases also 2u by z only, because a lift is not moving with acceleration. Acceleration 0 for the lift. Okay, next, till here clear? So acceleration is 0. Now the lift, you are standing inside the lift is moving upward with an acceleration a. Lift is moving upward with an acceleration a. Then what is the time of flight for the body when it is thrown inside the lift? 2u by g effective. G effective value will be, while it is going in upward direction, g plus a. What is that? While going in upward direction, g is equal to g plus a. While it is coming down, g minus a. Okay, acceleration. So what is the, if the lift is going in upward direction, upward direction with an acceleration a body is thrown upward inside the lift, inside the moving lift with an acceleration a in upward direction. Body is thrown with an initial velocity u. Then what is the time of flight to reach the ground? Okay, so t is equal to 2u by g effective. While it is going in upward direction, g effective will be g plus a. G plus a. Okay, so now 2u by g plus a. When the lift is moving upward with an acceleration a. Okay, if a body is thrown in upward direction inside a lift moving upward with an acceleration a, then g effective will be equal to g plus a. Then time of flight t is equal to 2u by g effective. 2u by g plus a, right? Next. Next case, same condition, but the lift is going downward now. Okay, if a body is thrown in upward direction, if a body is thrown in upward direction, inside the lift moving downward with an acceleration a. Lift is moving downward with an acceleration a. Then what is g effective?
G minus
G, I am asking g effective.
G minus A.
Yes, g minus a. G minus a. Now, time of flight t is equal to 2u by g effective. So 2u by g minus a. Okay na? Suppose I told you. Suppose the lift is moving with uniform velocity. What is acceleration then? 0. So then any one formula you can use 2u by g plus 0. So you will get 2u by g only. Since acceleration is 0 for a moving uniform velocity or at rest, both the cases. If lift is moving with uniform velocity in upward or downward direction, in upward or downward direction, or lift at rest, lift at rest. In that situation, what will happen? Acceleration a is equal to 0. Then time of flight t f is equal to what? 2u by g only. Okay, next.